MobiCon is coming this Memorial Day weekend, May 26th through the 28th at the Mobile Riverview Plaza Hotel. To get your tickets now, go to mobilecomiccon.org. That's mobilecomiccon.org. MobiCon, May 26th through the 28th.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as My Enemy's Tears, Goth Librarian, Cyberpunk, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop. Before you get booked up, head over to 631 North Carrollton, right off Orleans, to Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop. Off the books, Tubby & Coo's is a nerd mecca for books, board games, and geeky t-shirts. So book it over to Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop at 631 North Carrollton. If you don't want to do it by the book, use their free Wi-Fi and check their stock at tubbyandcoos.com. Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, where it's all...
Kasha's Bazaar, located at 5727 Jesson Highway, across from Red, White, and Blue. Geeky collectibles and more. Find them on Facebook at facebook.com/Kasha's Bazaar. Kasha's Bazaar, 5727 Jesson Highway, the Flea Market.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com/shop and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com/shop.
When you're in need of pain relief, come to Need It Relief Massage Therapy. Kat is an experienced licensed massage therapist. Check out her website and book your session online now at massagetherapykm.com. Need It Relief Massage Therapy for some much needed relief.
Hey there, Gulf Coast. Hattiesburg's only comic book and pop culture convention, Southern Geek Fest, is coming May 20th and the 21st to the Forest County Multipurpose Center. 2 days of comic books, cosplay, media guests, authors, vendors, and more. Southern Geek Fest has a huge lineup of guests, including Peyton Witch from Stranger Things and Don Teams from The Walking Dead. For tickets and more information, go to southerngeekfest.com. Southern Geek Fest. We'll see you there.
Resistance is futile.
Boldly going where no show has gone before. This is The Week in Geek with David D. Squared and Brian Held. Heard live on News Talk 99.5 WRNO and the iHeartRadio app. Here are your hosts, Brian Held and D. Squared.
Good evening. This is The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that is trending now. I'm your host, D Squared, with
Brian Held.
Brian Held, how the hell are you, buddy?
I am fantastic, man.
Are you?
Yeah.
I'm not. You're going to have to carry me. I'm not heavy. I'm your brother.
Yeah, I'm used to carrying you.
I'm your hungover brother.
I know. A little green around the gills.
Yeah, I feel like Wolfman Jack. I've been up all night partying. Woo.
Yeah. So we had a good time yesterday at the St. Tammany Collectors Con.
We absolutely did, man. That was a fun first event, man.
Yeah. It was a nice little show. It was just a trade kind of expo deal.
Yeah,
you know?
it was like a little throwback to like the 80s almost, just a little one-day con just from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And it was nothing but, like toys and a couple of comic book artists, comic books. And the price was $3.
I know.
$3. And my youngest 4-year-old Dean, he was free. So it cost me $6.
Yeah, it was cheaper than the one-day affordable con that Crescent City Con used to be. Remember that?
Yeah, that was like $20 for the one day, huh?
$5.
Oh, it was $5?
Way back in the day, yeah.
Oh, at the Travel Lodge,
exactly.
Huh? I remember that. Good times.
All right, you want to lay out the show?
Yeah. We got a great guest today, don't we?
Yeah, so our guest today is Mr. Christopher Heskey. He's an actor. He's been on such films as Terminator Genesis, Jurassic Park, and Logan recently, but he's got a whole slew of stuff that he's working on. He's going to talk to us about all of that in the third segment. Of course, we're going to get into Top Nerd News here in a minute. Skungy's got a cool pick for us. Tom Clancy, is it?
Yeah. It's Ghost Recon and Wildlands. I've been playing the hell out of that game.
Good. All right. And, of course, This Week in Geek History and Celebrity Birthdays close it out. So you ready for some Top Nerd News?
Let's do it.
And now, your top nerd news stories from around the world. Brought to you by Kasha's Bazaar. Find them at 5727 Jefferson Highway. And now, our top nerd news stories.
All right, man. Well, topping us off really has to be, people are really starting to worry that Game of Thrones is about to wrap up final season 7. There's only like 7 episodes. And once they're done, there's going to be a hole, an empty hole in my heart, Brian.
What's going to replace it?
Well, here's funny you should ask. Well, there's a great set of novels by Glenn Cook, The Black Company.
Yeah.
And that's already been bought, and Eliza Dushku.
Right.
She was in Bring It On.
Okay.
That's Bring It On film. No. You have no idea what I'm talking about? It's a cheerleader movie.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing trailers for it, yeah. So
the Black Company really is like a darker, grittier version of Game of Thrones, as if that's even humanly possible.
Yeah, I wouldn't think.
It is beyond cutthroat, ruthless, and it really takes a look at war. And the dirty and vileness that happens in war, okay, we just raided this town and just destroyed this village. Now let's rape and pillage.
Wow.
Yeah, it's brutal. It is beyond brutal.
Well, and the Black Company themselves are mercenaries, right?
The Black Company is a bunch of mercenaries. They will do whatever you do. They'll do whatever you want as long as you pay them. And their one thing is that if they sign a contract, they will fulfill that contract.
Wow.
And of course, this lady comes along called the Lady, and she's an immortal. She's a magician, and she's got a whole bunch of other magicians that are always like trying to kill each other, and just hilarity ensues. Well, actually, mayhem and murder and death.
Right.
And so, it's a really great show, and it has a lot of great potential. There's about 5 or 6 books in the series, and I really think that this, if it's done right, will be the Game of Thrones replacement.
Yeah.
But there's also another one, isn't there?
So, there's recently the Wheel of Time has been...
Robert Jordan, huh?
Right. The legal hurdles that they were working towards to overcome have been overcome, and Sony picked that up. And,
Sony, so they're going to screw it up good, huh?
Yeah, pretty much, just like Spider-Man. And so, it's kind of wait and see. There was an initial announcement, hey, we're going to start working towards this. We haven't seen much more beyond that. But, those are 2 absolutely good contenders to replace Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah, man. There's no doubt about it. And, right now, once Game of Thrones ends, it comes out, April? No, I'm sorry. July 17th.
Yeah,
July 17th. So it's going to wrap up at the end of August because there's only 7 episodes.
Okay.
So it's going to wrap up pretty much right at the beginning of September. And most people are like, okay, well, Westworld will replace that.
No, Westworld's not coming back until 2018.
And that sucks.
Yeah.
And then, we're also just like we talked in last week's show about the writer's strike.
Right.
We might be in a barren wasteland of new crap to watch and see.
We'll need British content to...
Shut up, you limey.
You know what the best part about the Black Company Wheel of Time stuff is?
Tell me.
It's new. It's not a reboot or a rehash.
Well, technically, it's from the 80s, so it's not really new. But yeah, it is new to the mass consumer.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not a reboot of Snake Eyes and G.I. Joe reboots.
Right. Well, hey, look, something fun. How about the
Stan Lee?
Yeah. Well, the fan theory has been confirmed by what's Kevin Feige?
Yeah, Feige.
It's Feige. I looked it up.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. And he confirmed that Stan Lee
is the Watcher.
Is Uatu the Watcher?
Yeah, the Watcher. So yeah, he's a weird looking guy with big eyes, giant head, and a toga.
Right, but the race of the Watchers, their whole deal is that they watch and observe all throughout the galaxy in order to preserve the knowledge, but Uatu sometimes gets in the mix.
But not too often.
Not too often.
But what he likes to do, and what one of my favorite series as a kid back in the early mid-'90s, they had a series called What If comic books.
Yeah.
And it was all based on Uatu saying, hey, I took a look into this timeline. Let me tell you what happens here if so-and-so, killed the X-Men or so-and-so joined the Fantastic Four. And it was all these kind of great stories that you wouldn't get until, nowadays with Marvel constantly shooting themselves in the foot and destroying great American icons like Apple Pie and baseball and Captain America.
Yeah.
Sons of...
Right. But I think it's very cool that they confirm that and that he has continuity throughout the whole series.
Well, and it's really funny because, I mean, Stan Lee has been in every single Marvel movie.
Yeah.
I mean, just every single one. And he's always just been subtly placed, not in some of like the action areas, not even some of like the major plot points. But he's been there.
Right.
And so it's like he's kind of keeping an eye on it. And it's really funny because, at some point, Stan the Man ain't going to be with us anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, he's already retired from the circuit.
Right.
I got my picture with him, so I'm good. But the problem is that, eventually he will not be with us.
Yeah.
And they want to kind of be able to either reuse some old stuff or just, say, use it as a plot device.
Yeah.
Be like,
definitely.
hey, look, can we have your body and or, rights to your name and your likeness to put in the movies?
In perpetuity?
In perpetuity,
yeah.
Yes.
Well, hey, while we're on the Marvel bandwagon.
I'm not on that bandwagon. Yes,
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is not even released yet. It comes out Thursday.
Okay.
I hope you got your tickets.
No.
But it has been released internationally. It's already made $101.2 million at the box office. Yeah.
That's a lot of scratch.
That is a lot of scratch. And I mean, and it hasn't even released in Japan and, of course, the States. So it's going to explode. I think it's going to do really good.
Which countries has it been released in? Like Europe or something?
Yeah, like in Europe and China.
Then how come I don't have like a French dubbed version to watch right now? Do I have to scour the dark back alleys of the internet tonight?
We're not going to talk about that, Dave. We don't condone that sort of behavior.
Okay.
Yes. So.
Sorry, Marvel. Don't sue us. All right, moving on. Well, DC, they won't sue us because they got no damn money. Apparently, they want to put out another freaking streaming service.
I know. I can't believe this. They want to launch a streaming service. I mean, they do.
I am of two minds on this, okay? Because their cartoon comic book movies are friggin' awesome.
They are.
They're bloody. They're well done. Unlike their real life counterparts, that their big screen debuts have been nothing but turd fests.
No,
their cartoon stuff is phenomenal.
I'll go on the record and saying that I like the Batman animated series. I also like Batman Beyond. So,
yeah, okay. So,
yeah.
I mean, well, yeah, but who cares if you like that or not? I mean, but the streaming service, a lot of this stuff is available on Netflix, Hulu. A lot of the big-time movies are there.
Maybe it won't be. Maybe they'll pull that stuff and put it on
That would be crappy beyond measure.
Well,
I would suddenly become like a Marvel fan, and then I'd have to shoot myself in the face.
But part of it, Dave, is that, maybe this is what we've been asking for. I mean, people are tired of that cable company, you're subscribing to so many channels and you only watch 3 or 4. Maybe this is what we're going to, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it's still going to work out the same. I'm paying $189 a month in cable fees.
I know.
If I'm already got Netflix, everything else. I mean, if let's say I cut the cord and I get rid of Cox, well, I'm still going to be getting Hulu, Netflix, HBO Go, all this other stuff streaming, CBS, freaking whatever the hell they're going to call their DC bandwagon fun time channel. I mean, I'm looking at another $100 easily just for that.
You still might save some money.
I doubt it.
At the moment. We'll work on the numbers after the show, Dave.
I still got to get internet.
While we're talking about DC and on the lagging side of things, what is the deal with Wonder Woman?
What is the deal? What is the deal with Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
She's got a movie. It's coming out.
Yeah, but who knows about it?
Well, we do.
Well, we do because that's what we're into. But the thing is that there's the normal huge launch that you see before any property.
Right.
I mean, I can't look at Facebook for 2 seconds without seeing an ad for Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's true.
Where's that for Wonder Woman?
Dairy Queen. Maybe they're waiting for Guardians of the Galaxy to launch.
I saw an ad for Hanes, right? That was a Guardians of the Galaxy trailer.
All right, we've been through this. We've gone round after round after round on this stuff about how we can Marvel is beating the pants off of DC. Well, why are they going to go head-to-head and waste their advertising dollars to go head-to-head with Guardians of the Galaxy? They know it's a freaking ATM machine that they're putting in every theater, okay? So why would Wonder Woman and DC waste their money to say, hey, and don't forget us. No, wait for the movie to come out. People go out, spend their money, then you advertise, hey, by the way, 4 weeks down the road, come see Wonder Woman. I mean, but people just want to be pissed off about stuff.
Well,
it's like you. Stop picking on DC, you Marvel tard.
No. Look, I said something nice about DC. You should write that down.
I'm going to say something nice about your face.
Well, hey, look, it seems like all of
Free Comic Book Day.
Okay, yes, Free Comic Book
Day.
Nice
segue, huh?
Yes.
Where are we going to get free comic books?
So next weekend, it's the first Saturday of every May, is Free Comic Book Day, if you didn't already know. And for the folks that are not in the immediate area of the New Orleans metro area, you can go to freecomicbookday.com and find your local shop as to where to go to get free comic books. There are about 40 or 50 free comic books that are available. You can, in fact, on freecomicbookday.com, you can see the full list of everything that's coming out.
Okay.
I think topping that list is Secret Empire #1. I mean, that's going to be a hot one.
It's a free one?
It is, yeah.
So why did I buy Zero?
Because it's a different story.
Oh, I hate these people.
Yeah.
See, why would they give it the same name?
Well, because they changed. It's #1. You bought
This is
Zero.
why I stopped buying comic books a long time ago.
Look,
because they keep screwing with me.
No, they're not messing
there
with you.
There they are.
No. Look, if you want to feel any better about it, there's a Wonder Woman free comic book that's going to be available, and it's a reprint of the #1 that came out.
Is it Linda Carter?
No.
Then I don't care.
Oh, it's a comic book. It's Wonder Woman. You're so ridiculous. Well, look, guys.
Where are we going to be?
We are going to be at BSI Comics. That's 3030 Severn, right next to Lakeside Mall, across from JCPenney's. That's 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. next Saturday, May the 6th.
Yeah.
And we're going to have free prizes from the station to give away and stuff from our sponsor, GameStop. We've got some stuff left from that.
Sweet.
Yeah. So come by and see us. There's going to also be some comic book artists out there. I know Preston Acevedo will be out there.
Nice.
As well as Jesse Elliott.
As much as I love messing with him, he actually is a really good artist.
He is. He's fantastic.
I call him a tracer, but he's pretty damn good.
No, yeah. Guys, you can also go to Heroes Corner Comics. They're on West Metairie over by Elise. They also have a second location, Heroes Corner Comics and More on Lapalco. More Fun Comics on Oak Street, if you're uptown. Crest City Comics on Calhoun. And for the guys on the North Shore, Big Easy Comics on Highway 190. All of those places are listed on the Free Comic Book Day website. So go check that out. Is it time for a break?
You bet your sweet butt it is.
Guys, when we get back, we're going to be talking to our boy Skungy. He's got that great Tom Clancy pick for us. He's going to tell us all about it. Stay tuned. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO, your home for Walton and Johnson.
MobiCon is coming this Memorial Day weekend, May 26th through the 28th at the Mobile Riverview Plaza Hotel. To get your tickets now, go to mobilecomiccon.org. That's mobilecomiccon.org. MobiCon, May 26th through the 28th.
Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, is now an audiobook read for you by Brian Held. It's a tale of a young girl from Tortuga who disguises herself as a boy and bluffs her way onto a pirate ship, chasing after her one true love, only to find adventure on the high seas. Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid is available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. Get your copy of Jezebel Johnston today.
Tubby and Coos, Mid-City Bookshop at 631 North Carrollton, just off Orleans and Carrollton. Books, board games, and geeky t-shirts. Find them on the web at tubbyandcoos.com and sign up for their geekly newsletter. Tubby and Coos, more than books.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as My Enemy's Tears, Goth Librarian, Cyberpunk, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coos Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
In a New Orleans that never was and never will be, airships float high above the city while platoons of clockwork automatons patrol the streets below. In Storyville, pirates, streetwalkers, gamblers, and thieves prowl back alleys in search of their next mark. New Orleans by Gaslight, the premier anthology of locally written and locally produced steampunk poetry and fiction, all set in Victorian New Orleans. Buy it now, available in both paperback and Kindle versions at Amazon.com. New Orleans by Gaslight.
Kasha's Bazaar has an unconventional inventory for the discerning geek collector. Comic book-related collectibles, vintage New Orleans items, militaria, and plenty for your mundane friends. Kasha's Bazaar, 5727 Jefferson Highway, the Unflea Market.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com/shop and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com/shop.
Hey there, Gulf Coast. Hattiesburg's only comic book and pop culture convention, Southern Geek Fest, is coming May 20th and 21st to the Forest County Multipurpose Center. 2 days of comic books, cosplay, media guests, authors, vendors, and more. Southern Geek Fest has a huge lineup of guests, including Peyton Witch from Stranger Things and Don Teams from The Walking Dead. For tickets and more information, go to southerngeekfest.com. Southern Geek Fest. We'll see you there.
This is the Week in Geek with D Squared and Brian Held.
Outstanding.
Miss any of today's show? Download the Geek Podcast at WRNO.com. Here are your hosts, D Squared and Brian Held.
Welcome back. This is the Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO. This is D Squared with
Brian Held.
Hey, Buckaroo.
Hey, man.
You know what? We have a fine, upstanding citizen on the line, but let's introduce him first.
I am not what you would call a handsome man.
Skungy's Pick of the Week is brought to you by GameStop and ThinkGeek.com.
Skungy's Pick of the Week.
He might be an idiot savant.
Woohoo!
Skungy, what's shaking bacon?
Not a lot, sir. How are you?
I'm super fantastic now.
Wonderful. But you know what? I got a question for you, Dave.
Oh, God, what?
How is it that I can go to Epcot and drink around the world, spend 10 hours drinking straight,
oh my God,
and feel fine, yet I go out with you for 3 hours and I feel like I'm on death's door?
I just have that effect on people. It's not. See, you spaced it out though. We were just like, all right, drink. I think we forgot we're not in college anymore.
No.
Yeah,
all right, dude.
did.
So what are we talking about tonight?
We're talking about Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands.
You mean Mercenaries?
Basically, yeah, because that's what the game feels like.
I
It feels like an homage to that game that originally came out on the PlayStation 2 and PS3 as well.
I loved that game, and right now I am spending more time than I care to admit playing the new Tom Clancy game.
Yeah, I mean it's fun. You know, it doesn't have the robustness that a lot of other Tom Clancy games have, and it doesn't have the seriousness, because a lot of Tom Clancy games have that kind of like, you know, hard strategy. This one is like, let's blow up everything and have fun with it. The game's actually more fun when a mission breaks down. You have all these plans. I'm going to go through the mission, and then the mission breaks down, and that's where you have the most fun.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the best part is one thing that I really like about it with Mercenaries, it was just you against, all of North Korea. At least right now, the game is set in Bolivia, and I have 3 friends that come along with me to help me blow up Bolivia. So it's like a little party, It's not just, one man against the entirety of Kim Jong-il.
Yeah, and that's a cool thing, because when you play single player, you can play single player. It's actually, I think, easier to play the game single player because the AI does a lot for you, and it's kind of,
yeah, man,
it's very helpful.
They will spot
when you play
people.
Co-op, though, the players are just, your friends are just as dumb as you are, so you die a lot more.
Oh, my God. This is why I don't have friends, okay?
You mentioned co-op. Is there also a multiplayer mode?
Well,
it's mainly co-op. You could do squad versus squad, though.
Okay.
Yeah, but the co-op stuff is like, all right, you got a squad of 4 guys, you and like my neighbor Omar. I need to get his gamer tag so he and I can team up. But what it is, you have all sorts of little missions, and you pick and choose whatever mission. You have all of Bolivia to choose from. So, like, the one little sector you start in is kind of like, the first level, low level stuff, and then as you branch out, once you get to the cocaine processing plants, those are really well guarded with,
I don't know why.
Surface-to-air missiles. They really worry about the cocaine in Bolivia.
Okay.
It's a big cash crop.
Mentioning that co-op part with your friends, this is a unique mechanic that a lot of games don't. When you play with somebody, if they've unlocked an area, you have access to that area. And then you will have access to that area after you're done playing with them, like going back to single player.
That?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Interesting.
But you said it's open world. You can go with it. There's no rhyme or reason to how you tackle any of the missions. You can go to any mission you want at any time.
I've been running around just collecting skill points so I can get my guy up with get more C4, get more landmines, get more grenades, get grenade launchers, blow people up. It's fun.
It is one of those games where you should be able to basically upgrade everything you want throughout the game. It's not like where you'll have the choices of going, well, if I decide to go with this, I won't be able to go with this. But you should be able to upgrade everything throughout the game.
Well, I tell you personally, as a parent, as a full-time just working man, this was money well spent for me. And also, I can squeeze in a quick game before work. I can just do a quick mission, like have my cup of coffee, kill a few Bolivians, and then go into work and smile and not kill my coworkers.
There you go.
I completely agree. The only downfall, it does get a little bit repetitive.
Yeah.
After a while, some of the missions will get a little bit repetitive, but there's enough variety in like I said, going back to the whole breaking down. Once a mission breaks down and how it plays out, it can play out so differently. So the mission starts the same, but it ends differently.
You mentioned an open world deal. I mean, is it like the entire country of Bolivia? You can run across it in real time?
Kind of, sort of, yeah. I mean,
it's not a like scale replica of it,
but it is. The views are quite majestic. Like,
okay.
I got on top of one of these mountains where they had a surface-to-air missile I needed to take out, and I just looked around, and the horizon just keeps on going. And if you start driving in that general area, more things will start popping up in the horizon. Now, the map is great. Basically, big giant kind of sort of pseudo square where it's like you've got sections of Bolivia.
Okay.
And also, I want to apologize to any of our local Bolivian American people,
right?
Because I'm not killing. I'm killing fake Bolivians. Just FYI.
Okay. So I mean,
you have a vendetta. That's what it really is.
Skungy, it sounds like it's a sandbox, and there's a large area to play around in.
No, yeah, it's huge, and there's also add-on content with the season pass if you want to go that route. If you feel the need to get extra missions and whatnot. They also have where you can get weapon packs and skins and upgrades for your character. Right now, it seems that most of the stuff, though, is just like skins instead of actual weapons.
Okay.
So you might not need to spend extra money on some of the stuff when it comes to those gear packs. But the extra content is, you'll get extra stories and stuff like that.
Right. All right. Well, price and platform, Skungy.
It is going to be $59.99 for the regular edition, $69.99 for the deluxe edition, and $100 for the gold edition, which includes a season pass. It is for PC, Xbox One, and PS4.
Nice.
And I give it the gold stamp of approval.
There you go.
Keeps me from killing real people.
Skungy, we have another guest on the line, so we're going to have to let you go.
Fantastic.
Yeah, you're fired. Get out.
Fired?
Yeah, you're fired. Get out of here.
I beat you to it.
Thank you, Skungy.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. Hey, we have a guest on the line. We're going to get to him in just a minute. So stay tuned right after these short commercial messages. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
You got to keep them separated.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com/shop and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com/shop.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as My Enemy's Tears, Goth Librarian, Cyberpunk, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop at 631 North Carrollton, just off Orleans in Carrollton. Books, board games, and geeky t-shirts. Find them on the web at tubbyandcoos.com and sign up for their geekly newsletter. Tubby & Coo's, more than books.
Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, is now an audiobook read for you by Brian Held. It's a tale of a young girl from Tortuga who disguises herself as a boy and bluffs her way onto a pirate ship, chasing after her one true love, only to find adventure on the high seas. Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid is available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. Get your copy of Jezebel Johnston today.
Hey there, Gulf Coast! Hattiesburg's only comic book and pop culture convention, Southern Geek Fest, is coming May 20th and the 21st to the Forest County Multipurpose Center. 2 days of comic books, cosplay, media guests, authors, vendors, and more. Southern Geek Fest has a huge lineup of guests, including Peyton Witch from Stranger Things and Don Teams from The Walking Dead. For tickets and more information, go to southerngeekfest.com. Southern Geek Fest. We'll see you there.
When you're in need of pain relief, come to Need It Relief Massage Therapy. Kat is an experienced licensed massage therapist. Check out our website and book your session online now at massagetherapykm.com. Need It Relief Massage Therapy for some much needed relief.
MobiCon is coming this Memorial Day weekend, May 26th through the 28th at the Mobile Riverview Plaza Hotel. To get your tickets now, go to mobilecomiccon.org. That's mobilecomiccon.org. MobiCon, May 26th through the 28th.
Now, back to the Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO with David D. Squared and Brian Held. Tell your friends. Tell your enemies. Yeah, you'll definitely want to tell your enemies.
Welcome back. This is the Week in Geek. Now, Brian, we have another exciting guest on the line. Who is it?
It is Mr. Christopher Heskey. He is an actor in the film industry down here. Mr. Heskey, you there?
Oh, yes.
Oh, fantastic. We're so glad to have you on the show, man. How you doing?
Good, man. Enjoying this wonderful weather here on the interstate. I had to pull over so I could talk to you guys. And
yeah,
I get back in the area from doing the Sunscreen Film Festival in St. Pete, Florida, and man, the weather's nasty.
Oh, I'll bet, yeah. So, just to kind of set it up, you had 14 years of service in the U.S. military, and let me say thank you for your service.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, you're using that to help you in your roles in the film industry. You've been in for what, 3 years now, right?
3.5, yeah. Not much over 3, but yeah.
Okay, and tell me how you got started in the film industry.
Man, the way, the best way to explain it is the truthful way is I started off as being an extra in 22 Jump Street and Focus and some other movies that were shot. I was like, man, a friend of mine drove me to set, and I was like, all right, it'd be something cool to do. I've never done it, kind of a bucket list thing. I was like, oh, I'll give it a shot. It'd be cool to do that. I say, hey, look, I got to be in a movie. And I fell in love with it because a lot of it's like the military as far as the hurry up and wait, change the direction, long days. I was like, nah, I kind of like this.
Right.
And I was like, well, let's see what else I can do. Let's see what else I can do. And all the casting companies down there in New Orleans are great, man, and kept giving me, putting me in spots, and I was able to somehow be at the right place at the right time, and got a little bit of notice, and I've taken what things have been given to me and kind of ran with it. So
you started as an extra, but you've also done some stunt work, right? You were mentioning to me about one of the executive producers really kind of honed in on you and got you to do some stunt work, right?
Yeah, that was in Logan, man. I started Logan. I was picked out by the executive producer thanks to Central Casting down there, and the executive producer, gave me a shot of doing a little bit of a driving, call it a dad, on film, and he was very confident in my ability to do it based off of, my prior military experience and law enforcement experience. I was like, yeah, I got this. I'm not worried about it. If I couldn't do it, I'd say I can't do it. And there's a couple of things they gave me opportunities and chances to do while I was on Logan. So I was very grateful of that opportunity.
Now, you're saying you were referring to like your military experience and law enforcement experience. Are there a lot of extras that have that? Because that seems to be sometimes a theme of some of the people we've interviewed, that they either have some sort of military or law enforcement background.
Yeah, I think so for a lot of us, because when a lot of us vets get out, man, and I got to use us vets because it's a lot harder to get a normal job compared to some people. Some of us have no problems with a lot of us that have been deployed to Afghanistan and Iraq and, and further back for the other guys to Somalia and all those other places. Man, it's, getting back in the real world, as we call it, it's not as simple as a lot of people think it is. And, but the film industry, it gives us opportunity to kind of display what, we spent years of crafting and learning and training day in, day out over.
Man, well, that's awesome. All right, cool.
Oh, yeah. So did you use some of that training? You were in Terminator Genesis, right?
Yes.
And, I mean, what was your role in that?
I was one of the special forces guys. And I had a little line in it, nothing, to brag about, by all means. I was in a time machine scene. Myself and a couple other guys, had a couple of lines there, but nothing to, write home and brag about. But it's still something cool because, I grew up loving the Terminator franchise, and I remember, watching, Terminator 2 as a kid. But, man, I love this, how much I love this movie. And I would have never fathomed being, heck, I don't remember how old I was, 13 years old back then, watching that, and never had a vision that I would actually be in the movies, period, much less a Terminator movie.
Did you get to see Emilia Clarke, Daenerys Targaryen?
Emilia Clarke, yes. I hung out a lot with actually Jason Clarke and Jai Courtney, to be honest. Jai and I have actually became friends now because I did another movie with Jai called Man Down.
Nice. Well, cool. Well, and of course, we're talking about all of these sort of roles, but you've been managing to branch out and do some other stuff too, right? You were down at the Sunscreen Film Festival in St. Pete, you mentioned, and you were promoting a movie called Thunder. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, Thunder is a great movie. It's an indie movie that it's a feature film, though, that was shot in northern Florida, South Georgia, and it's about a rodeo queen, man, who experiences domestic violence in her life, and she finally breaks away from it and goes to help a runaway. And I play the evil husband, hunting my wife down, and I stop at no cost to find her.
Oh, wow. Well, you do, look, I saw your picture on IMDb. You do have a little bit of a rough look. I think you could pull that off well.
Yeah, and everybody thinks I'm such a big old mean guy. They see my pictures and see me in these roles, but I'm a big teddy bear unless I'm pushed.
Right.
So, hey, man, well.
I was gonna set it up.
Oh, you got a segue? Okay.
I got it right. So I ran into America's Movie Cop yesterday at the St. Tammany Collectors Con, and that's John Armijo. You know that guy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and I wanted to get your take on the Pop-Tarts conspiracy.
Yes, which part on Pop-Tarts, man? That is such a great thing. And speaking of John, he's got a movie that we're going to be doing next year.
Is that the director's cut, take one?
Yes, sir.
Well, tell me about it.
But what the hell is that? Nobody tells me anything.
Yeah.
Well, okay. John, to cut my head off, is that I, along with a bunch of other great talent, mainly New Orleans area talent, are going to do this movie, and I play a mercenary bodyguard. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Well, we're talking with Christopher Heskey now. I mean, this is a vet and an actor, and man, dude. So what? Thunder is what you're working on right now, and then this.
Well, the director's cut take one. That's John Armijo is kind of headlining that, and that's going to be going on next year, right? Is that when it starts?
Yes, we're supposed to start filming January next year.
So you're not going to tell us anything more? Damn it!
No.
Well, I'm a suspense. Just like Pop-Tarts are missing. We're hanging in suspense because we can't find stinking Pop-Tarts.
Yeah. No, it's good stuff. Now, of course, we would be remiss if we didn't mention that you are going to be attending your very first pop culture convention at Southern Geek Fest in Hattiesburg, right?
Yes, sir. I'm excited. I hate to miss the radio.
Chris, are you there? I think we.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, all right, kind of like look around, see how everything rolls, because I've never even been to one, as a fan, because it's timing or whatever else, it just doesn't allow for it for me. And so, but I'm looking forward to it. I love meeting people and getting to know people. Sometimes you can meet some really good people, like, for example, going back to Logan when we were up in Natchez, Mississippi, met a trainer in the gym, and he became one of my good buddies, Shannon Greer, and I'm getting him into acting now because he's, like, wanting to do it. And plus, I'm like, dude, this is the shape I want to be in. This is how I want to look. And he's like, dude, we got this. Because I had major neck surgery in November due to injuries from the military. So I had to lay off the gym for quite a while, and I just got cleared to go back to working out. So we're like, all right, game plan set.
No, that's nice. Well, hey, you know what we're going to do? We're going to talk to the organizers of Southern Geek Fest. We're going to get you set up right next to us, and we're going to introduce you. We know everybody. We're going to introduce you to everybody.
Yeah, we'll antagonize people, and then he can beat them up for us.
Well, that's just
my
you.
job.
That's your job. How's that sound, Chris? Oh, did we lose him?
I think so.
Chris, you still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of lost you. All right, well, Chris, just hang on for a second. Guys, stay tuned. When we get back, we're going to close out the shows we always do with This Week in Geek History and Celebrity Birthdays. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Tubby & Coos, Mid-City Bookshop at 631 North Carrollton, just off Orleans in Carrollton. Books, board games, and geeky t-shirts. Find them on the web at tubbyandcoos.com and sign up for their geekly newsletter. Tubby & Coos, more than books.
Hey there, Gulf Coast. Hattiesburg's only comic book and pop culture convention, Southern Geek Fest, is coming May 20th and 21st to the Forest County Multipurpose Center. 2 days of comic books, cosplay, media guests, authors, vendors, and more. Southern Geek Fest has a huge lineup of guests, including Peyton Witch from Stranger Things and Don Teams from The Walking Dead. For tickets and more information, go to southerngeekfest.com. Southern Geek Fest. We'll see you there.
In a New Orleans that never was and never will be, airships float high above the city while platoons of clockwork automatons patrol the streets below. In Storyville, pirates, streetwalkers, gamblers, and thieves prowl back alleys in search of their next mark. New Orleans by Gaslight, the premier anthology of locally written and locally produced steampunk poetry and fiction, all set in Victorian New Orleans. Buy it now, available in both paperback and Kindle versions at Amazon.com. New Orleans by Gaslight.
Kasha's Bazaar, located at 5727 Jesson Highway, across from Red, White, and Blue. Geeky collectibles and more. Find them on Facebook at facebook.com/Kasha's Bazaar. Kasha's Bazaar, 5727 Jesson Highway, the Unflea Market.
MobiCon is coming this Memorial Day weekend, May 26th through the 28th at the Mobile Riverview Plaza Hotel. To get your tickets now, go to mobilecomiccon.org. That's mobilecomiccon.org. MobiCon, May 26th through the 28th.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as My Enemy's Tears, Goth Librarian, Cyberpunk, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coos Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com/shop and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com/shop.
Now, back to the Week in Geek with local celebrity Brian Held, hashtag LCBH. Here are your hosts, local celebrity Brian Held, and that other guy, what's his name again?
I hate the voice guy. This is D Squared, the other guy, along with
Brian Held. I love the voice guy.
Of course you love the voice guy. He's your biggest fan. Hashtag LCBH.
Uh-huh. All right, so are you ready for This Week in Geek History, Dave?
I'm always not ready for this.
Mm-hmm.
This Week in Geek History.
We're sending you back to the future!
Yes! Oh my God!
This Week in Geek History is brought to you by Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, read by Brian Held. Available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. This Week in Geek History.
Yes! Oh my gosh!
Da-na-na, da-na-na.
All right, Dave, I've got some interesting ones for you. None that you have to guess this week.
Yay, because I am not up to par.
I know. So
my brain don't work today.
All right, but the first one, we're going way, way back. You ready?
Yes.
April 24th, 1184 BCE. Greek forces penetrate Troy using the infamous Trojan horse.
Oh, yeah, that was, hold on, wait. What was the Greek guy, Odysseus, wasn't it Odysseus?
Yeah, I think so. And Achilles and, all those
But I think
guys.
it was Odysseus who had the big giant idea, he was the big brain of the Greek people at that point in time.
And, Cassandra was the one who...
No, it was Helen of Troy, Cassandra.
Well, Cassandra was a prophet. She made some prophecies. Nobody believed her, so... they coined the term being a Cassandra as far as not believing somebody.
I've never heard that, and I don't believe anybody. So why has no one called me Cassandra?
I don't know.
And
then
they just do it behind my back.
Helen of Troy is the face that launched 1,000 ships.
Your face is the face that launched 1,000 ships.
Well,
it was like, get the hell out of here.
All right.
Next
is April 25th, 1939. DC Comics debuts what will become its second major superhero, Batman, in issue 27 of Detective Comics.
Yeah, he looked really weird, and he was like, he wasn't the guy that he became. I mean, I think he was like, he was really more like a weird, like actual kind of like Bat guy when they first kind of thought about it, because he wasn't really the greatest detective in the world.
Well, and didn't he have a gun?
He did.
Yeah.
That was the other thing. Yeah, he had a gun, and like now all of a sudden, Batman doesn't kill unless it's a Zack Snyder film, and
all bets are off.
And then all bets are off. Now he's just an old jaded man who somebody killed his boy toy Robin, and so people gotta die on Batman. What's next?
April 26th, 1983. Tandy Corporation introduces the TRS Model 80 computer. It's 4 megahertz. Hell? It's the Trash 80. You've never heard of that?
Oh, the Trash, yeah.
Yeah. And
the Texas Instruments, that was my first computer.
It had a 12-inch monochrome monitor and a cassette interface. And, oh, man, believe it or not, I programmed in high school on a Trash 80.
Really?
Yeah, I was taking a computer science class. They were teaching basic on those things.
I had like an Apple IIe. That was the first one. I mean, good Lord. And the crazy part is like these pies. Like my 11-year-old son, DJ, he wants to start doing a little more like robotic kind of stuff.
Right.
And I was like, well, let me get you a pie. You can just build, whatever you want. And he's like, yeah, I don't know. But I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I'm going, he has there's so much technology at these children's hands.
Absolutely.
And like, we had nothing. We had like reel-to-reel cassette recorders.
And Lincoln Logs.
Lincoln. You had Lincoln Logs, you son of a... What's next?
Oh, let's see. April 27th, 1990. I was going to try to make you guess this one, but I'm not. Touchstone Pictures releases the science fiction comedy film Spaced Invaders. Do you remember that one?
Was that the little green dudes? Was like based off the H.G. Wells thing?
Yes, the B-movie comedy in which dim-witted Martians choose to invade a small American town on the same night as the local radio station rebroadcast Orson Welles' 1938 War of the Worlds.
Oh, I said H.G. Wells. Yeah, Orson Welles.
Yes.
That was the greatest movie ever. My brother and I we used to be able to quote it.
Right.
It was that bad.
Yeah, I probably saw it when it released, and I just don't remember.
It was
much
just
about it.
so stupid and campy and funny. I mean, they weren't like CGI, guys, because it was in the 80s. So they had these little big green heads, but they looked almost kind of real. It was really well done when you consider how crappy movies were in the 80s. It was a fun movie. Of course, my standards are really low.
Well, they are.
I'm easily amused.
I put this one in for you.
Oh, you're so swell.
April 28th, 2003. Apple releases the iTunes Store for the world to use.
Well, that was for the world.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
I mean, that was the first date of release. That was when it happened.
You got something against Apple?
What?
It's a question. What's wrong with Apple? I have a nice little Apple iPhone here. What do you have in your dirty pocket?
I have a Samsung Edge.
Does it blow up? Does it catch on fire?
It does not catch on fire.
I can make it catch on fire.
It was pre-catch on fire battery Samsung.
So why didn't you get an iPhone? What's wrong with the iTunes Store?
Because I don't like the walled garden infrastructure that iPhone has created.
Okay, speak English.
I did speak English. They have created this walled garden atmosphere where they want you to be totally inside
like the
their
Garden of
ecosystem.
Eden.
No,
you have everything you need. Just don't eat that apple.
Like I know plenty of people who are I know plenty of people who are unhappy with iPhone and would like to leave, but they have bought too much stuff, like too many songs on iTunes, and they're like, "Well, I can't lose my entire collection,
all right.
So I'm going to stay and buy another iPhone." And they've captured you, and I don't have that problem with my wonderful Android device.
Why? Because you can't download music on it?
I can download music on it.
And then where does it go?
I can put it wherever I want. I can put it on my computer. I can leave it on here.
Canada?
What does that even mean, Dave?
Canada. Upper U.S.
Oh, jeez.
What's next?
What's next?
So you really just hate iPhones because of that well-thought-out argument?
There's a number. I mean, I'm not getting into the whole deal. There's more reasons than that.
Okay, no.
Right,
fine.
exactly.
But you just like your Android, and I like my iPhone.
Look,
all right,
if you like iPhone and you get the computing experience you want, then more power to you, Dave.
It makes phone calls, and I can use the internet.
Well, then
it works.
Go for it. All right.
What's next? Gotta
all right.
you.
April 29th, 1951. The Thing from Another World, often referred to as just The Thing before its 1982 remake, is released.
Like what was it? Clive Barker? Not Clive Barker.
Yeah.
The remake of the Thing, the 80s with
it was with Kurt Russell.
Yeah, that was beyond an awesome movie.
James Arness was in the original one.
See, the original was black and white or something?
Yes.
See, I don't even remember the original.
Yeah.
I only remember the one from the 80s because that one scarred me for life, man.
Dude,
I wouldn't look at a dog. I'm waiting for the dog's maw to just go,
You're right. It was
freaking creepy, man.
It was creepy.
Oh, man. And then that dude, like he starts like breaking apart and crawling down the hall. God, man.
Oh, yeah.
And that was pre-CGI again.
Oh, yeah, no. And
I yearn for the old days of the 80s sometimes.
And I mean, I know essentially we're talking about the original and then the reboot, but they did change it up. Like the Clive Barker version was much darker and grittier.
Have you gone to see the new Alien?
No.
What? Jesus, that was a very... No. What, you're not going to go see it at all? I want to go see it.
What, the Prometheus thing? No.
Well, no, the new one.
Haven't we said everything we needed to say in the first two Aliens movies?
No, we have not.
Game
over, man. Why don't you put her in charge?
Exactly.
I know. Well, I want
the
a good one.
I like that
I know the third and the fourth were flaming piles of garbage.
Right.
This new one looks awesome. It's got your boy from Eastbound and Down. It's got a great cast.
I don't know, Dave.
Fine. What's next?
Birthdays. You ready?
No.
On the 24th, Richard Donner.
Donner Party?
He was
the cannibal?
Director of Goonies, Superman, Lethal Weapon.
So. Why are we talking about cannibals?
No. On the 25th.
The Goonies. That was such a great movie.
Yeah. On the 25th, Gina Torres.
How's that?
She was in Firefly, Angel, The Matrix. She's...
I don't know. I'm
yeah.
blanking. So blank. I'm not good with names.
Well, we know that.
Is that why you do this segment, just to piss me off?
Maybe.
Okay.
On the 26th,
You're honest.
Tom Welling. He was the guy who played Clark Kent in Smallville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He was cool.
Mm-hmm. On the 27th, Jenna Louise Coleman. Do you know who that is? That's
No.
Clara from Doctor Who.
Oh my God! You're like bringing all the obscure people to the
She's
table tonight.
huge. What are you talking about?
Never heard of her.
Never heard of her. God. All right.
It's some British thing.
How
I'm an
about-
American. Bring me American people, damn it.
Then how about on the 28th, Jessica Alba?
Ah, yeah. See, that's a fine American woman.
Yeah. Okay. And on the 29th, Kate Mulgrew.
Now that sounds familiar.
Yep, dude. What's her name? Mary Elizabeth McGlynn did her voice for one of our rejoinders.
Oh, yeah.
Right. She was in the Captain
Kate
Janeway.
Mulgrew, yeah, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And then she also was in Remo Williams. Remember that movie?
I do remember Remo Williams.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Brian. So, as always, we strongly want to urge people to go check out our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/The Week in Geek. Check out our website at Twig Radio. Follow us on Twitter at Twig Radio, and the Instagram's The Week in Geek. Now, Brian, how can people listen to this lovely show?
Well, once we're off the air, we're going to host this on Spreaker.com, or you can download Spreaker for your smartphone or tablet. We're on iTunes, YouTube, the iHeartRadio app, and you can catch us at wrno.iheart.com.
Cool.
Yeah.
So now, what do we have planned for next week?
Next week, I was just looking that up. Our guest is Mr. Alan Smale.
Oh yeah, dude, he's a really good author. He does this alternate history, and actually he did an alternate history that the book that I'm reading right now. We got an advanced copy. It's basically the Roman Empire never fell, and they actually start coming over to America, and it gets wild and woolly, man. And like the Roman Empire never falls, and they discover America, but of course it was already discovered, obviously.
Right.
But hilarity ensues. Well, not really. Mayhem and murder and death.
And
awesome.
so Eagle and Empire, I believe, is the name of the book, right?
That is it.
And guys, don't forget, we're going to be at Free Comic Book Day at BSI Comics, 3030 Severn, right by JCPenney's next weekend from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Come stop by and see us, say hello.
Are we going to JCPenney's afterwards?
We can if you'd like.
Okay. We can get matching tops?
Sure, Dave.
All right. See, now you made it weird. Now you just had to go make it weird.
Yeah.
All right, guys. It's been another exciting installment of The Week in Geek. We want you to come out every Sunday at 7 p.m. on News Talk 99.5 WRNO. Till next time, keep your nerd flag raised high.
GFL.
Your new home for Walton and Johnson. News Talk 99.5 WRNO FM, New Orleans, an iHeart radio station.